Do you get your latest news by watching local TV or maybe picking up the newspaper, or perhaps you go online? Well, today we're discussing social media versus traditional media with Guru Stu. Nice to see you.
Good morning, Marianne. It's nice. How's Carter doing?
Oh, he's great.
He's growing like a
weed.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he have? I know your husband does a lot of trading online. Does he have one of those trade things like the baby does? Does he talk to you like that and say, "Nobody,
No,
no"?
not quite yet, but he does watch the opening bell.
Yes, and he's got his own laptop.
From Guru Stu.
And how old is he?
He's now 2.
2 years old.
Yeah. They go pretty quick,
Kid's
don't
a
they?
genius. All right, let's talk a little bit about social media versus standard media. Now, a lot of people know what social media would be like MySpace, Linksys, what's the other ones that are out there? Facebook is the biggest. And then, of course, you've got like Twitter.
Sure.
Those sort of things. Now, those particular media, it's almost instantaneous. So when you get a news story, wham, it's right there.
Oh,
sure. Right there in front of you. You're on the internet, you're watching CNN on the internet, MSNBC, Fox News, whatever it is that you want, you're watching that. Okay, and then the news is happening, it's being posted almost immediately, versus what we grew up with, right, prior to all this electronic age, which was newspaper, magazines, radio, and that sort of thing, which can, well, radio was pretty instantaneous too. But it took a while, for the printed media to be able to do that. Well, what's going on with the printed media right now is that if you were going to put your advertising dollars towards, let's say, a newspaper versus, let's say, a television station or Facebook, where are you going to get the biggest results? Okay, so if it costs the same to put an ad, let's say, in on Facebook as it does to put it into a newspaper, you would be looking at reaching more people, obviously, because Facebook is the third largest country in the world. Honest, it's got over 500 million users.
It's insane.
It is insane, and it's growing every day. During the conflicts in the Middle East, how they were sending out information and all that stuff through smartphones, videos, all that stuff.
Yes.
That was all coming through Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff.
Right.
So we were getting that information as it was happening.
Well, you're hearing about the local media even say, follow us on Facebook, Twitter. So we're certainly catching on.
No, I'm not saying that you should stop any traditional advertising whatsoever, okay? Because like Sandia Computers, we do this show, we are on KOB television.
You're on the radio as well.
We're on the radio, on my weekly radio show, and those things are great because I'm a local business, so I want to reach that local audience. However, if I do go on Facebook, I may not get the same results because I'm reaching a global market, which opens me up to possible fraud, and that sort of thing. And there's not a lot of local people, I don't think, from talking to other businesses that are actually getting a lot of business from their Facebook sites.
But nowadays you see everyone, they're walking around with their phone, they're not even paying attention to where they're going. You're running into them in the grocery store or whatever. But yet advertisers are looking at a certain demographic as well.
Right.
So if you're looking at that younger crowd, perhaps, they're the ones that are on Facebook. They're
Exactly. Has to do with the age of the person that's using the equipment. But still to understand, there is, it's kind of like digital cameras versus 35 millimeter cameras. What happened to the 35 millimeter camera? Well, it's hard to say, but I hate to say it, but we're going to see our hardcover books maybe going away.
Right.
We could be looking at our newspapers disappearing, and we may be looking at magazines cutting way back because of the advertising dollars are not there.
Are you seeing a lot of folks coming into Sandia Computers wanting the latest and greatest because they say, hey Stu, I use this a whole lot more than I do picking up the paper or turning on the radio?
Not just that, but they come into the store because they've seen this show. We are wonderfully thankful to be on Good Day New Mexico every Wednesday, and it has brought us hundreds and hundreds of customers because of that. But at the same time, if I did a print ad that cost me $2,500 in the Sunday newspaper, I'm not going to get the results because I'm just going to get swallowed up by all the big companies that have the flyers that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in there every Sunday and that sort of thing. So as a small business, I really have to kind of direct myself to where I'm at. Now, I do have a web presence and that sort of thing, but at the same time, it's kind of figuring out where you're going and what's going to happen with electronic, social media, all that good stuff in the next 5 years.
Okay,
Pretty scary.
And if you're looking for a new gadget for yourself,
absolutely,
head on over to Sandia Computers. They've got it all there. We'll see you again next week, Stu.
Okay.
Thank you. Sandia Computers. They're located at 3625 Wyoming Boulevard Northeast. Don't miss out. Guru Stu's on 1550 Kiva Saturday mornings beginning at 9 a.m.